Hi, welcome. This is Shannon. I'm so glad you're here. I am walking around my garden and you probably hear the sounds of summer behind me. And I felt the urge to record, and I never know what's fully going to come out of my mouth. So this is an uh-oh moment, like what wants to be shared today? I don't know. And that's really the way that I'm living these days. You know, we have been so conditioned to regret the past and worry about the future. And when we do that, especially at this urgency pace that we tend to live life, we miss what's happening right here and now. We miss the moment. We miss our life. We know how fast life is traveling, right? Like, it's freaking crazy. I am going to have 3 teenagers by the fall. I can't even believe it. If I have 3 teenagers, that also means that I've been increasing in age as well. And you certainly have too. And we can either be concerned about that or we can celebrate it. Everything is how we look at life. Everything is determined by our perspective. And this podcast, A Life That Lets Me Breathe, is an opportunity to rebel against urgency culture and to rebel against certainty culture. Now, I'm just like you. I would prefer to have my life figured out, my path completely clear, and to know for certain that it's going to go the way that I want it to go. But the older and possibly wiser that we get in life, something is encouraging me to embrace the unknown, to look at uncertainty with a sense of wonder and awe. I heard the other day someone talking about how life is like an improv dance. And that really stuck with me, because even when I was a young mom with my little babies, I remember a parenting person was talking about how life is a dance. And I took that. I found that to be extremely helpful in life and as a parent, because you never quite know what the dance is going to be. And you gotta sometimes wing it. Sometimes you learn the steps, but if you're too stuck in your head counting out the steps, you miss the fun. You become a little bit too rigid and you're stuck in your head. So this idea that life is like an improv dance, it allows us to flow with uncertainty. It allows us to look at life with a sense of curiosity rather than fear and dread. If you're listening to these words, you're probably on a remembering journey, remembering what's important to you, what your dreams are, how you want to live life moving forward. And to do that, we're learning how to heal and allow and release the old energies, the old emotions, the old experiences that are no longer needed in life. They've served their purpose and we are outgrowing them so that we can expand and expand and expand. And with that comes a deeper, fuller breath. And when we can breathe more fully and deeply, we get sucked right back in to this moment. The heart expands, the body relaxes, and the mind can remember to be okay in the unknown, because we can play in the dance. We can improv our way through it. We can celebrate when something magical crosses your path that you never even thought possible, because you were open, because you were in flow, because you were allowing, because you were taking inspired action, and because you were receiving. You were breathing imbalance to your life. The inhale and the exhale. The giving and the receiving. And I think there's a part of life that we tend to skip over, that we tend to ignore or push through, or that really creates an uncomfortable feeling, and it's the space between the exhale and the inhale. It's the space between where we've been and where we're going. That space in between is, wow. It depends on your perspective, right? For those of you who love change and embrace it as an adventure, you might love that time. For most of us, talk about being uncomfortable. As we're moving from certainty, and as we're moving from having our 5-year plan in place, and we're learning how to live more in the present moment and breathe more deeply and create a life that is in alignment with our soul, we start to remember what space feels like, what stillness feels like, and the need for it. I'm witnessing in my own family, there are some of us who absolutely love stillness and have come to really integrate that part in day-to-day life as our own natural rhythm. And then there are some of us who absolutely are terrified by it. And most of the world still operates in that urgency culture, because that's what we've been taught. That's what we see. And if we stay in that sense of urgency, and we stay in that sense of anxiousness and worry about the future, and we stay in a fearful state, well, then the world, the old world, has us exactly where they want us. In that very rigid, planned out, strict, I guess you could call it a dance. As we awaken and we remember who we are and what matters most to our own soul, we listen differently. We hear things. Our senses awaken. Right now I'm hearing an airplane, the birds singing, the cicadas, my own breath. And the nervous system can relax and receive information and communicate what your soul needs to your body. And it's such a beautiful, symbiotic way to live. Not the easiest journey, but it's the one that has the most depth and the one that has the strongest foundation. That will create lifelong stability when you remember that you are being supported. The universe, your angels, the people around you, your family, your friends. There's support happening. There are synchronicities happening. There are messages. And your intuitive guidance, your inner wisdom, is your inner GPS. It's always running. But sometimes we're moving too fast and we're too dang tired to listen. So for me, I'm going to improv dance my way through uncertainty. What does that feel like? If you imagine you improv dancing your way through uncertainty and change and transition. And I wonder how it might feel if you remember you're not alone in it. The world is a busy place and there's a lot of noise out there. But you have a choice on what dance or what next move or what type of rhythm or what kind of dance you want to move through in life, in this moment. So I hope you can take a breath with me today. Pause. Receive a moment of stillness and notice the space between your breaths. You might even hold it a little bit longer and notice if your body could just relax while you pause before the next breath. I think we're teaching our bodies, our mind, and our spirit that the next breath always comes, even when we're not sure when or how, even when it feels really confusing. That space in between is teaching us change isn't as scary as we once were taught to believe. Fear doesn't have to lead our life. In the pause, in the breath, your heart can lead the way. Your heart knows. And it's our job to listen to it, to breathe into it, to allow it to be heard and to trust it. So I know that this transition and change and the unknown and things that feel out of your control feel very scary sometimes. Let Mother Earth hold you. Really, let go. If you're standing or sitting or lying down, just let her hold you. Let your breath effortlessly travel in and travel out. And your cells, your nervous system, your mind, your heart, your body will continue to remember that you are supported, that you are right where you need to be on your journey of learning and growing and expanding and magically creating the life you dream of. And you'll remember that there's enough oxygen for you to breathe. There's an abundant amount of oxygen for all of us to breathe. We've been taught that there's not enough, that we're not enough, that we don't have enough. That is what we're remembering our way out of. That's what we're dancing away from and integrating a new rhythm, a new dance that is less urgent, that is less fearful, and that is remembering that there is enough abundance and air to breathe for all of us. And when you remember that, you have access to your soul's energy. You have a remembering that you are a creator and you can create from a heart, love-filled place. So what kind of improv dance are we going to create today? That's what I want to know. So I'm not a dancer. If you're a dancer, let me know. Do you have a lot of training? Has that training been helpful? Do you like improv? Is improv dancing even a thing? I don't even know. Contemporary dance is what I'm thinking of. Going with the flow. I guess improv dancing is just like putting on good music, your favorite song, and freaking letting your body take over. Letting your heart follow its joy. That's what it really is to me. So whether you know how to dance or your soul, let's just say our soul does know how to dance, whether you've been taught dance moves or not, sometimes that's the best way, is to just dance as a beginner, like a child would. Put on your favorite song and play. Be silly. Allow your energy to flow and move and see where that takes you next on your journey. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being you, and thank you for dancing alongside me. If you want to stay connected, you can email me, Shannon at afreespiritlife.com. In the next episode, we'll see what wants to come through, but I do want to share a little bit more of my personal journey. I have been dancing with my flowers and dancing with sourdough bread. You guys, I think sourdough bread is taking over my life, and I'm so excited to share more. So stay tuned. Email me or reach out on Instagram at Shannon Kinney-Duh. That's ShannonKinneyDuh. And soon there will be in-person and online gatherings where we come together and doodle and play and connect in nature and community. And we'll continue to remember together, we're not alone on this journey. We're in this together. Lots of love. See you next time. Bye.